Aquarius, welcome back to my channel, The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I will do your reading now. I have pre-shuffled the cards, Aquarius, for you. And so I just feel like I start. So I get something about that at this point. I feel like it's important for me to say that there are many timelines playing out at the moment. And maybe you already know this, right? As an Aquarius, maybe you are not that tuned into it, or your intellect is not like, sometimes I believe Aquarius can hold a knowledge that others don't have. So for you, this could be old news. Like this has been going on always. Like there has been many timelines always. But it's maybe more current now to be aware of it, or maybe more important now to be aware of it. And there will be so many people acting out in different ways because they are on different timelines, or they are in different vibrational states. And we can have an entire family with all of them have different vibration. And inside a home, this can be a problem, because to find agreement, or to find peace with each other, or to find understanding, well, mostly every home has a frequency that all of them somehow can, you could say, relate to. When that is not happening, you can have, this is where you have the children that run away from home and something like that, because they can't, accept the circumstances or the energy vibration in the homes. Right now, you can have things like this can play out in the homes. But actually it's around the world. Like the entire world has different layers or different vibrational states. So you can have, a football team with different players can be on different timelines. Depending on their core vibration, depending on who they are and how developed, you could say, spiritually, maybe evolved or conscious they are. I know in my case that if I am within a group of people, you could say, where my vibrational state is not like theirs, my body starts shaking like this. Right? It's like I get an imprint. My body is telling me that where I am is out of alignment with me. So I don't know what this means for you, Aquarius. Maybe you have something similar, or sometimes when we are with energies that are heavy for us or not in alignment with us, you get very tired, for instance. Maybe you get extremely tired. Just be aware that the different timelines or the different frequency levels, you could say, that are currently happening or currently moving through or evolving, growing and adapting here on Earth, it can give this sense that there is a mismatch, or there is not peace, or there is a different I feel like maybe you could say we are more reactive to it. Like we are more reactive to the different levels of states that are here, that you feel it quickly. Your vibrational state when you are with someone with the same frequency, you probably have a good time. It's probably nice. If you are with something that is out of alignment for you, it's more problematic. It doesn't feel safe maybe, or it doesn't feel like home. It doesn't feel relaxed. It doesn't feel nice. So that feeling can be something that follows us around, in our everyday life, that if we are moving through different settings, group settings, you wake up in your home, then you go to school, that's another group setting. Maybe you go to the fitness center, that is another group setting or another environment. So each environment or each place can have different timeline settings, different vibrational states, and you can feel either good or relaxed or rejuvenated, or you can be drained by something. I think I don't know why it shows up in your reading, but there must be someone out there who may need to know this, or that this is a confirmation that if you do feel very drained and very tired sometimes in certain energies, it's because it's not in alignment. It is or it's definitely asking you to maybe just experience it a little bit. Like maybe just become aware of it for a moment, and then you can play with this, like you can excuse yourself and oh, I need to find something in my car, and then you go and find something in your car, and you stand outside for a moment, maybe just standing there away from whatever energy you were in, and then you go back in and you see is there some kind of difference, is there some kind of so you can just play around with this, like if you want to, right? That there are some, and usually it's also what people say, like if people are too far away from each other vibrationally, well, you can have people who are not sharing the same hobbies. They are not into the same stuff here. They are maybe not even into spirituality at all. But you can still find people that are on the same vibrational match. They have different interests, but when you speak, it's like it's easier, right? It's easier to it's a natural flowing conversation, because like the core vibration is more equal. You may do different things in life, but your core is at home, you could say, and therefore it's easier. And this goes with people, of course. It goes with like places, environments. It goes with animals. It goes with food, maybe. That some kind of food makes you very tired, or makes you like literally uncomfortable. Maybe you vomit or something, right? That there's something that is not the right match for you. And there, for now, I just feel like the message was very much, actually very clear. Many timelines are playing out right now. That's it. So we will have different expressions, many kinds of different expressions, and because they don't necessarily feel at home with each other, they can become more reactive, meaning that there could be more frustration coming up, maybe more anger, maybe more resentment and things like that. And it's part of the evolutionary state that we are all in, I think, to recognize, where am I? Like, where do I belong here? Which one is right for me, you know? Without judgment, like, which one is right for me? Where do I belong? And this has nothing to do with the idea of good and bad and being a good human or being a good person or something. No, it's about, where do you belong? That's why I have talked about in my readings, it's not so much who you are, your persona, like even the mask we wear, the name you have, the name inheritance, what family you come from. No, it's what you are. What are you? What are you is a vibrational state. And then you can go out in the world, and no matter what you are encountering, it's telling you either you are at home, so it means you have found something familiar, or you are off. And it feels more heavy, more difficult, more out of alignment. So there is a comfort zone, and then there is something that's not comfort zone. If you are struggling in your life and you feel you are sick and you're worried and something, you can of course associate with people that are like you. If you want to change that state into another alignment where you feel more healthy, more vibrant, where you feel happier, more abundant, or you have other choices, you will feel uncomfortable because it's a new vibration which you were not maybe currently on, and you're trying to attract it into your life. It comes when you are like all the things that you would like, it comes, or all the things that you would like to manifest in your life, it comes when you are a match to it. When you are a match to this kind of life, it naturally flows to you. That's the law of attraction or vibration. That when you are a match to this, it comes. So we can be aware of the different timelines. If you are on a timeline that seems like it's problematic, it's heavy, it's sad, it feels like you are pushed or you are cornered in some way, like to shift from that and have something else, you become that match to it. In other words, I want to say you start raising your vibration. Then you become something that is maybe easier, lighter, easier going. It's more peaceful perhaps. So you start by implementing some of that in your life. Think about peace. Think about focus on that. How can you have more peace in your life? How can you have more kindness maybe in your life? How can you have maybe more choices? Sometimes we are very limited in our way of thinking. We think we have no choices, but we do always have choices. It's just whether we want to go there or not. Like, do we want to go there? Sometimes the choice is that you become a rebellion, right? Sometimes you rebel or you walk away, or as I said, children, they can run away from home. Like that it's a message, right? If a child runs away from home, it's a message. It's a message that I cannot be in this home. Like this home is unhealthy for me. I don't thrive here. That's why I run away. that everything else outside of my home must be better. Otherwise, I wouldn't leave. Otherwise, I wouldn't walk away. Otherwise, I would stay. If someone leaves, it's because what is happening currently in the home or in the environment is I can simply not be here. I have to run away, escape. Everywhere else is better than here. This is also what I think sometimes happens with soul fragmentation. Like if someone is experiencing something so dramatic in their life, like abuse, a rape, war crimes, or things like that, that are extremely heavy energy, violence, that is challenging us in such a way that we can't seem to deal with it. I think you can have a soul fragmentation from that experience. And living with soul fragmentation is disorientating. Like it's like you are there but not there, or it's like part of you is there, but it seems like something is missing. So I still don't know exactly why I'm going down this route, but I feel that there's something here for someone. So if you do feel disorientated or confused in some way, if you do feel like something is lacking or missing, I have felt most of my life that it's like I was lacking compass. Like people have this purpose thing going, right? Some people have this very clear purpose, like they know that they want to be, I don't know, an engineer. They know they want to be a nurse. They want to be something. They have this very clear direction of where they are supposed to go. I never felt that. I never had that feeling. I think for some it's because they can see their purpose here. It already exists. It's already here. Like the occupation of being an engineer, the occupation of being a tailor, the occupation or designer, the occupation of being a nurse, it's already here. It exists. And it aligns with their core of what they are. It aligns with what they know about themselves, and they are going towards it. I think that there are some people coming in here, and Aquarius, you are definitely one of them. Because you are always linked to what we call futuristic energy. Something that is not here yet. Something that is not, it's like it cannot be here yet. Again, I think about timelines here. It's like certain vibration has to be present before it can come in. Like before it can happen. Or a certain amount of consciousness level has to be available in your mind before your idea comes. Before you see direction. As for an Aquarius, I think that, of course, you can have an occupation here. You're very intelligent, Aquarius, right? So you can deal with complex ways of thinking. Very complex patterns. You can handle complex cosmic knowledge and having trouble making coffee, Like very earthy stuff getting your laundry done, making a plan for the family dinner. Maybe you suck at this, but you can handle this enormous information, complex information that comes in from the universe, from the cosmic realm. You can handle maybe like great physics thinking. You can deduct information from that realm, maybe with ease. But planning a family dinner or, keeping a calendar can be a problem maybe, I guess it's because we are all genius in some way. It's just to figure out how or what. And then we suck at some other things perhaps, right? If you deal with soul fragmentation, this thinking that you have the possibility to have could be distorted. In that case, soul retrieval could be a good idea, finding someone who can help you, a healer in some way, who can help you with this. I believe that if you do this, and it takes maybe more than, I guess I have had maybe 10 soul retrievals. So there's something coming in, like a puzzle piece, right, that comes back. And then it's like you know more about, you get to know more. It's like another door opens. Something that when the soul fragmentation is there, it's like you can't open that door. You can't get that knowledge. You can't see it clearly from that perspective. It's like the door is closed. When you have a soul retrieval, eventually it's like something lands. It's like it's called back and it lands in your awareness, in your consciousness. Then it's like a door opens. And now you can go in this direction and explore what is this. And you can then combine it with what you already know. You get another soul retrieval and you open another door. Eventually it's like you're actually building back together your soul. It's like your soul has been split. You're building it back together. Eventually it's like you have more and more puzzle pieces where you eventually see what is my soul actually. But you see, to have the soul retrieval, to let it come back, you have to be in alignment with it. If you are born from a very high dimensional energy and you are born into third dimensional energy here on earth, the environment you land in, your parents, that they are all about third dimensional understanding, linear timeline, humanity. You will be challenged. Parts of you will not come with you. It cannot. Like the third dimension only allows certain stories. It only allows certain knowledge. So it's like you can come with 10-dimensional energy. You could be that kind of soul. When you incarnate in a human being that is landing in an environment, yeah, you may have maybe a few weeks of 10-dimensional energy. Then you will easily and surely learn that this environment is not 10-dimensional. It is third dimensional. There's death here, there's fear here, there's so much. And it means that it cannot pass, it cannot, or it leaves again. It leaves. It leaves again because it cannot exist there. It's out of alignment. Either it never comes with you. It's like parts of you never arrive. Only a certain part of you arrive. And then you have to like claim the others while you are opening your awareness Do you understand what I mean? It's like you can come in here. I've said before that I believe that Aquarius can be late bloomers. I think it's because this is it. It's because they incarnate in a human body, which per se is low dimensional. It's form, it's dense, it's third dimensional energy. Then that in itself is a problem, I think, for Aquarius. To have form, right? To deal with time. Like, what is time? Time is, I believe for Aquarius, time doesn't exist. So dealing with time, dealing with a body, dealing with mortality, dealing with all this kind of stuff and all the narrative that comes with it is definitely out of alignment. And you need to adapt to this and figure this out and use your marvelous brain to somehow not get trapped in this. You can call back these soul fragments. Eventually, as you become stronger and stronger in your presence of what you are, that you are more than, I've said before for Aquarius, it's like you're more than what the frame can hold. The frame is the narrative of Earth and humanity. I made a recent video that is, I talk about, I'm questioning this. Is the human mortal experience a hoax? Like, is it just because we were told so? And there's enough proof constantly about this, that we see people dying. So it must be true that we are mortals. But what if this is not at all true? What if this all has to do with how we think? That it's just because, you know, we land in an environment and we are fed with information from that environment. And because there's so much proof out there, it seems right. It seems logical. It seems right. But what if we were fed with another kind of story? All of us. What if the story, the general narrative here on Earth, all of Earth, was different? We would have been listening to that then. And it would shape our mind. It would shape the way we would look at the world. What if we have been all of us have been told that we were immortals, we would never die? Would that change the way we would act? Would it change the way we would? You see, it's like, I'm not saying whether that is better or worse or anything. I'm just saying it's possible. I think it's possible. If there was another Earth, another planet somewhere, and the understanding on that planet, the vibration there is different. It vibes with another sense of consciousness level. You could have a different narrative there. You could have a different story. And if you grew up there, I don't even think we would say that, because if it was a higher vibrational state, there would probably not be a form. Like, we would probably not have form. And if we had form, it would be very non-dense. Like, it would be almost transparent. Very slim, I guess. Very slim, very, very light. It wouldn't weigh much, if even a body. So if you come from a high vibrational, you are a high vibrational soul. You are incarnating as a human into a dense body. That in itself is a problem for Aquarius, I think. And then dealing with the narrative that is here. That is, it is so dense. It is so unpenetratable. It's very difficult to not be sucked into it. I think one of those who can actually not get sucked in is you. You can stand in your own light. You can stand and look at this, observe it. And then you can say, nah, I don't think so. This is not for me. I know this is not me. I'm looking at it. It's like, this is what I have to deal with. Like, I'm here, right? So I have to deal with this stuff. What on earth am I going to do with this? It seems like it doesn't want to follow my ideas, maybe. So maybe I have to find my own way. That's why I say that Aquarius is usually, what I call late bloomers. It's like they have to find their own way through this big, maybe nonsense. Because it doesn't align with what you are, right? It doesn't align with that. And if you stick to your principles, you will have this higher dimensional energy in. You will walk and be a living proof of a different vibrational energy than is more currently generally on the earth right now. You will walk with that. Even though you're the only one. And only if you are lucky, you meet up with others who are more like you. So if you stick to who you are, what you are, that is the goal, I think, for Aquarius. And while you are children, you're learning how to somehow still holding on to grip, like hold a firm grip to who you are, and then navigate this jungle you're in. And then later on in life, it's like, now I know what I am. Now I know what I'm here to do. But it takes a long time to, like, you would say, get through all of this narrative here. To figure out what it is that you are. What you are aligned with. Which is probably not here yet, because as I said, you are from a different vibration. You come in with other energies, like usually big, sometimes physical, electronical, technological explorations or discoveries are made when Aquarius energy is very potent on Earth. Like the discovery of the internet, the building of the internet. Like this idea comes, it wasn't here before. I'm born in the 1970s. When I was born, there was no internet. Cell phones, all that, it wasn't there. So it was a new invention. Every time there is this new a new invention that quickly becomes this world thing that spreads around the world, that is Aquarius, right? It's like being able to draw in something that is not currently here. And walking it, doing it, thinking it, talking it, being it. And being maybe obsessed with it, you know? Some kind of Aquarius energy needs to be present to take in new. And every time something new comes in, as I said in the beginning, we like our comfort zone. So people are used to the third dimension. When the fifth dimension comes in, it feels awkward and bad, and we don't like it. So it's an adaptation phase. And some people will go there and some people won't. They will stay in the third dimension. Even family members, even children. They will stay there because they're not prepared to move. They're not prepared to look at the new energy. We know it with people, right? Some embrace new production and new inventions quickly like that. And some are hesitant. Some don't trust it. How is this going to involve my private life? Will I be safe with this? Can it hurt me in some way? Some, they tune into it quickly, and some they are cautious or even rejects it. That is just human nature, that we do that. And that is exactly what this is. Some are having a harder time adapting to new, and some are on board right away. Those that are on board on new energy right away will have a quicker shift to fifth dimensional energy. Those who have much more caution, much more trauma, much more, you could say, heavy energy that they're dealing with, they will have a harder time adjusting to new energy. It doesn't feel comfortable. And I feel like right now it's like there are different energy levels, and when they clinch with each other, we will also know that you can find people that are rejecting new energy, and they will be reactive if you come in with your vibration. Then you can have those who are curious. So they from time to time they touch, right? And then there are those that you fit with, you could say, where you are comfortable together. But there will be this feeling that some, maybe again, as I said, family members, it could be long-term friends, suddenly it just seems like you get estranged. And you can either stay with them, but then you are abandoning maybe your own energy, like what you are. And as long as you stay with them, you will never find that purpose. You will always stay confused. You will never figure it out. So for all kinds of reasons, people stay together. Sometimes I just say it's not good to do, at least not from a core perspective. To fulfill your dreams, to be the highest version of yourself, you should maybe split from that person. But it may not be an easy thing to do, and maybe you decide, I don't want to. This is my child, or this is my husband, or this is my brother, or I don't want to. I love them dearly. I can't split with them. Just know that if you don't do that, you will probably, both of you may stay in a vibration that is actually not what you are. You're part of a timeline where that is not what you are. And in that timeline, it's struggling. It's not in alignment with your core. So in this, you could be struggling. Maybe you get ill here. If you're not choosing yourself. Maybe you're struggling in this place, or even are ill, or even are sick, or you have addiction problems, or you're numbing yourself in this vibration because it's not right for you. If you were in a different vibration, you would feel better. You would not shake, as I said. You would not tremble. You would not feel exhausted or tired or all this. You wouldn't feel like that. It's not whether the vibration is good or bad. It is what it is. Or whether it's high or low. It is what it is. You will feel more comfortable in some areas, and you will feel terrible in others. If you feel pain and you feel heavy, you feel drained in the life you have, it's because it's out of alignment with what you are. So even though you are married here and you have children here, even though you feel like you're part of a good community, even though you are that you should be happy here, like that this is what is achieved here is actually quite good. If you feel unhappy, it's because it's not what you are. Maybe you are not at all actually a group person. Maybe you are more of an individual person. If you are an individual, you will feel drained in groups, like family groups. It will drain your energy. But we are told the human story is that we are social creatures. We belong to a group. We belong to family. We are supposed to get married. We are supposed to have children. We are supposed to work in groups. We are supposed to do all this stuff. But maybe you don't thrive there. Maybe you thrive when you are alone. I just feel like there's something like that going on right now, where the human story dictates and the matrix dictates something about how we are supposed to be part of it. We attend school, we do all this stuff. We get a job, we follow the plan, the matrix plan, right? Or we follow what religion dictates or something like that. But if you don't feel right there, it is not right for you, no matter what everybody says. No matter if people are envious of you. Yeah, but you have everything. You have this gorgeous wife or gorgeous man. You have these beautiful children. You have the great house. You have the great job. You earn a lot of money. This is great. Why are you miserable? You have everything. Yeah, but if you don't feel happy there, it's because something is wrong, right? Something is not right for you there. And it can be an interesting idea to figure out what that exactly is. I've talked about finding out what you are. What are you at your core? If you come from a high dimensional energy of, let's say, unconditional love, you will not find a partner here who can ever be a match to that. Like the human condition here comes with a big pain body. Most people carry karma and trauma, and they cannot embrace unconditional love. They can never be it. You can't be it, perhaps, unless you have maybe dealt with your own karma, your own pain body, your own traumas. I believe also it's usually because we get so out of touch with ourselves that we can't love ourselves. If we can't love ourselves, how are we supposed to love someone else? And even attract someone who can love you. Like that, it doesn't make sense. Like in the universal laws of vibration and attraction, you attract the same as you are. So if you live in pain and sorrow and grief, what you are attracting will give you more of that. It will give you the proof that you can't trust. It will give you the proof that you should grieve. It will give you the proof that yes, you get abandoned. So work on yourself first to figure out what it is that you want to attract into your life. And there are many timelines playing out right now. You can have some people that look like they are the happiest people in the world. And then it's because they are in that alignment. They have aligned themselves with maybe their highest purpose. Everything seems beautiful for them. And they are happy there. And then you can have other people that are very miserable. I think that the narrative we have on earth, no matter what country we talk about, no matter what religious dogma that's there, it is extremely persuasive. What the matrix, like what the society dictates, church, everything that has power in some way. It's very persuasive. And it keeps, it doesn't give up. It's like this giant wall of narratives that keeps just like loudspeakers that keep, it's on repeat, you know? It just keeps repeating. And it takes quite a strong core to resist this and go against it. It definitely takes, you could say, something that doesn't bow emotionally, socially. It takes a strong, I want to say, individual that doesn't bow emotionally, socially, that doesn't care about norms, that doesn't care about ethics. And this is exactly what Aquarius can sometimes be. That rebellion that just says no. Damn, no. No. I go this way, right? I go this way. Anyway is, again, you could be the child that ran away from home, which is a message in itself. If a child runs away from home, it's because I can't be here, I can't tolerate this. I'm in danger here, so I'm off. And I'm off because if I stay, maybe I will bow, right? Maybe I will, like my iron fist of a will could be broken here. If I try to stay, it could break me. And I can't do that, so I'm leaving. Anywhere else must be better than this. So you see, if that happens, or as I said, it's like if you come in with high vibrational energy here, or a strong integrity, and you meet a very low vibrational earth, that integrity cannot pass. Like it can't, it's like a hole where only third dimensional energy can go. So if you come with more higher vibrational energy than that, it can't pass. Only some goes through. And that is then the state you live in. Then you open up your brain, open up your mind, and you start getting the others in. But it can depend on the environment you grow up in. Like if you are given, as I said, if you were given unlimited ways of living, unlimited ways of thinking and speaking and expressing yourself. You would probably, as a young child, you have already received everything you need to know. If you have a loudspeaker, repressive, negative kind of vibration that keeps haunting you, you could say, you may not be able to grow your antennas. You may not be able to open up and get the information. Maybe only until later in life, where you may have, you have maybe moved out of your childhood home. You have maybe or maybe not established some kind of young adult life. Maybe here you are growing your antennas. But it takes a certain environment. Like it takes a certain place where you can be yourself, or where you can be not dominated by something, so that you can open your antennas up and get the remaining parts in. It takes a strong self-belief, a strong self-love or self-prioritization to firmly, like an iron fist, stand on your ground and saying, no, this is what I'm doing. This is me. And I've said many times before, I think Aquarius energies can be, especially children, Aquarius children can be very misunderstood. Like the way that they try to keep integrity of, the way they try to keep their core intact, can be misinterpreted. And they can be corrected and, disciplined and whatever. And I don't think it's right. It's misunderstood. We are all somehow misunderstood, no matter what zodiac sign. I just think that Aquarius can actually be sometimes brutally intelligent enough to cut through this. Because they are considered the King of Swords, right? They are considered the brutally honest, sharp, cutting sword with no emotions. This is logic and reason. There are no emotions here. That's how Aquarius can come across. Like they can come across as the coldest, harshest, cutting sword ever. But only when necessary, right? Only when it's necessary. And you would actually cut those cords. You would actually walk away. You would actually go. I think. And you should. It doesn't mean that it would be an easy life necessarily. You have to find your own way through the jungle, as I said. And it's not here. Like trying to assume that you can become one already existing occupation. I don't think so. Some of it maybe. Like you could have mathematics or physics or some kind of maybe IT technology or something, AI or something. You could do that, of course. But eventually, I believe you would be part of a team that is creating something new that is not here yet. And that's why we can't see it. Like there is no compass that just directs me, this is where I'm going. No, it's not here yet. So how should you know? Nobody can advise you. Nobody can teach you or tell you. It's something it's in here somehow. If you stick to it, right? You have to stick to it. That's my best advice for all Aquarius children or youngsters out there. Stick to that. There's something you have that is very special for you. Aquarius is known to be the 11th house. It's about humanity. It is a discovery not only for Aquarius, but for humanity. It's something that could benefit the globe, the world, the way we communicate. It speeds up, it's faster. I think the aim actually for Aquarius would be telepathy, that we could actually have that without any physical tools. That we would just exchange the information through the third eye. With all, like it's a zip file. Like you just download the zip file from someone else and you have everything in your head. We don't need the computer screens. We don't need, but we are not there yet, right? We are not there yet. Right now we need the computer screens so that the image can come up and someone else can look at the image and say, oh, that's what you're thinking about. Now I understand you. From a higher dimensional perspective, this would be just a zip file that just moves from my third eye to yours, you could say. It would even be without form. We wouldn't have brains like that. But that's just my personal understanding, right? That this is what I think, what I believe in, but we are not at all there yet. The way we communicate, there are still so many misunderstandings, so many things that we are limited to just like telepathically understanding from one to another. Again, when you come across an energy that is not like you, or is not able to transmit information and communication in a certain way, you will know it. Like you will instantly feel that I can't talk to them like that. We can't have that conversation. It's out of alignment with me. Okay, let's have a look at the cards here. So in the center here I have 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. I've talked a lot about dimensions and frequency levels and things like that. And for some reason, I feel like because this is in the center of the reading, it's purple, purple and a bit pink. There's some blue here as well. I think that, well, maybe you are 7th. It says 7th chakra. Maybe you are 7th dimensional energy here, which is not present on Earth yet. Or part of you is 7th dimensional energy, but it cannot come into Earth realm yet. As I said, it's like there's this loophole of what is able. Right now we talk about 3rd dimensional energy has been here a lot. We are moving towards 5th dimensional energy. 5th dimensional energy is available on Earth, but not all are tuning into it. But 7th is not, like it's not here yet. So that would be some of the things that are selected not to go through the information stream at the moment. Like it cannot come in yet. It's not that we are dealing with maximum, at least what people talk about in spiritual realms. It's 5th dimensional energy at most at the moment here on Earth. But then you can be advised, you know, your antennas can go out. You can be advised from a 7th dimensional energy point. But this cannot manifest itself yet. Like it hasn't come in as an idea. It hasn't come in as a problem yet that needs to be solved. It hasn't come in as a, and maybe you have, I don't know, maybe you have frustration here. It's like you know there's something you're supposed to do, or be, but it's like you can't be it. Or it's just like you can't see it, like it doesn't show itself to you, right? Does that make sense? Like it's not showing itself to you. Again, as I said, like this feeling of not having the compass or the passion or the what is it that I'm supposed to build or create or be or something. In the root position, I get the Tower card. So I feel like the root position here for me tells me something, and this would be the head, right? So this would be the feet, the lower abdomen, pelvic area, and genitalia area, root area. In the lower vibration, we usually, or the lower chakras, it's said that we hold the most trauma. Like trauma, it sits in that area here. And if we have one, we have Tower here. Tower for me tells me that something might break down, or you are in a dismantling process in that area. Like everything that has to do with your roots, your upbringing, everything you know about humanity, human life, right and wrong, up and down, light and dark, everything you know about good and bad, and the existence here seems like it has a shake. Like it seems like it's in a dismantling or this shake up. It's because Tower usually talks about it's like something has been built on unsafe ground or unstable foundation, so it's falling down. The unstable foundation can be that, well, maybe your body is not physically strong. It never has been, perhaps. Maybe you have been trying to cope, but it never has been. Like it's and everything you knew, like everything you knew about yourself, your life, your parents, everything you knew about history and story and religion and whatever it is in your life, everything you've been taught in school, it's like it's crumbling, or because it's out of alignment. Again, if you are like this, right, you are not you can't really deal with third dimensional energy. It's way too low for you. Like it's way too limited. It's way too human. It's way too linear. It doesn't apply to what you are and what you think, how you think. 7th chakra is the crown chakra. It has to do with your mind. It has to do with how you think. A vibrantly open crown chakra would mean that you get information that are, and we have it here, it says wisdom, miracles, and then it says ancient wisdom. So you see, it seems like you are being fed here with information that are very, what we would call ancient here. Like in linear time thinking, we would say it would come from the past, right? It's ancient. But it may never have been on Earth before. Like the vibration may never have been here before. It's ancient in the sense of the universe, but it may never have been on Earth before. When we say ancient, like the human mind thinks that it has been here before, like it's somewhere in the past. But I feel that it's almost like it has never been here before. It has never been in the presence of humanity and human life before. It is ancient, yes, but not from here. And that could be what you're currently downloading something, it seems like. And because you are doing that, this is crumbling. Like everything you know about your life or yourself, or even Earth, like what Earth is, the planet, our solar system, that what you are downloading here is, yeah, I think it is ancient. Like it could come your way all the way back from eons, back from all the way back from the Big Bang or something, you know? Or maybe, I think it is old, but not necessarily from here, like from the story, like the narrative we have of Earth doesn't comprehend it. If we should talk about ancient wisdom that is from this earth, it would be something like Atlantis or Lemuria. It would be something like, let's say, some of the very skilled mathematicians and physics who lived in ancient Greece and Egypt. Like, how could they construct the pyramids, right? How was it possible for them to calculate things with that limited amount of tools that they had available at that time? How was that possible? Had they access to something that we just currently from history don't know? Is it about what I call the loop, the hole here? Is it because our current state of consciousness, once it may have been bigger, so more information could come in, and then something happened that shrunk it? Or is it because it's never been here before? And I think because I read for Aquarius, it's never been here before. It's new. It's even that you may have information here, or you're downloading some kind of information that is ancient, I feel like here. It talks about miracles, so maybe there are some healing abilities. He's doing something here. And this seems a bit like rotating a chakra, right? But the chakra, where he holds it, is like solar plexus position. Solar plexus is about personal drive. It's about personal power. It's about empowerment, your personal empowerment. It's about confidence. It's the go-getter energy. It's like maybe you are currently downloading information that is supposed to help you build this drive, build up this confidence, this iron fist confidence, as I talk about, the sharp tongue, the cutting of swords, the detachment from something, because you're supposed to find your goal in that. When you do that, your goal becomes clear. Does that make sense? Something like that. Miracles, right? Miracles are defined by the fact that it's otherworldly. Like a miracle, when a miracle happens, is because it's not normal. It's otherworldly. It's magic. It's something that cannot be. Like if someone performs a miracle, they do something extraordinary. They do something that is not normal. Not everybody can do this. So this seems like downloading some kind of information here. Look at how the crown chakra is also, like how it almost looks like a summoning of information here, right? A summoning of information through the crown chakra here into you, like into your brain, right? About some kind of miracle here. Something that is different or otherworldly, or as I said, it's not here yet. It's out of the normal current human understanding of what is possible. I think, I thought about this yesterday actually, this idea that today in the hospitals, it is normal practice that you can, if someone has a heart attack and the heart stops beating, that you can use these electronic heart starting devices, right? That gives this instant shock that is supposed to get the heart starting to pump again. That tool, this special heart starting equipment, once it wasn't there, once it wasn't made, once it was not available, once it wasn't there, you had to do the ordinary like pumping here to try to revive someone if they had a heart attack, if they actually died from a heart attack or had some kind of injury, where you would do the first aid, and do this. Today you have this equipment, like you have this tool you can take in, and it can give such a massive like a shock that it's more than what you can do like this. But think about the time where this didn't exist. Like we take it out of the equation, it didn't exist. At that current time, the human brain and like medical understanding had no other choice but what we could do like this. We didn't know anything else. Now this tool is present. Because this tool is present, we can make a miracle. We can revive someone who was dead. And this becomes, you could say, an ordinary practice. This is an equipment that is in hospitals. Here in Denmark, we even have equipments like that hang around in local areas, maybe like, at a local library or at a local gym center. Anyone who just knows a little bit about using them, you don't have to be a doctor, can run and fetch this if someone has a heart attack in, let's say, the gym center. So there is an inbuilt voice, that voice recorder that tells you what to do, how to put the pellets and everything, how to position the shockers, the electronic devices. And then you push a button, and then it gives this shock. It gives this electronic reaction to the body. But today this has become so common that we don't even our current brains don't even think that it's a miracle anymore. I think you can literally help someone having a heart attack in a gym center. You can run and find this device, and you can bring it back, and you can perform first aid. You can make a miracle there. Something that was regarded a miracle way back in time. 100 years ago, this wasn't available. Doing something like that would be a miracle for that human person who may survive because of it. But 100 years ago, it wasn't possible. That person would probably die. It's that kind of thing that I feel like is here. It's like what you are downloading here is something that can make a miracle, but in our current world. So of course you don't bring in this heart starter device. It's not about that. What you are doing here is something else, but it still brings in the same sense of miracle. It's something that is not available here yet. It's not available here yet. We don't have the heart starter yet, or whatever this is. I don't know in what area. I just know that it's a miracle. We say that turning lead into gold is a miracle. It's not normal. You can't do that. It's a Jesus thing, right? Something like this, if someone is... When someone performs a miracle, it's because what they're doing is not normal. It's special. It's maybe important. It makes a difference, a great difference. It's something that is maybe vital to the human race. I don't know what this is for you, right? But when it comes with the sense of miracles, it's like... Like the miracle term, like the word miracle is special. Like you only use the word miracle if it is a miracle. Otherwise you would use another word. Maybe like what it is that you are trying to download here, this information, what it is you are trying to download is a miracle. Because again, if this is 7th dimensional energy, it shouldn't be possible. Like it shouldn't, again, the 3rd, 4th, 5th dimension only allows this to come in. So you cannot pass. You shall not pass. It cannot pass unless it has the right vibration to it. But what is happening here seems like it could be. Like, how can you call in this information if it's not supposed to be here yet? I guess that if you do that, if that is what you're doing, it would feel uncomfortable. As I've talked about, like if energies that are not aligned come together, it will feel uncomfortable. It will feel like a shake-up. Maybe that's why we have this like groundbreaking foundation shake here. Like it feels like you're in touch with something that is not, like maybe it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel human. It doesn't feel earthy. It doesn't feel, it's far out there. It is alien or something. And if it becomes too strange for us, we normally back off as humans, like it becomes too dangerous. But it seems like you may have a conversation here with something that is maybe a bit of a uncomfortable maybe. Because it shakes up everything here. It shakes up maybe also, I talked about the lower chakras here. Root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra. And this one is right over the solar plexus, I think. Solar plexus chakra here. So it could be that what is being shaken up here like experience that something falls, that everything you've built your life on, all the understanding that you have about yourself, everything you know about humanity, everything you know about human life and energy or something, that it's like it's all crumbling. Everything you've worked for, even like as a human being here, everything you've been invested in, everything you learned, everything you knew about yourself, your persona in this life, that it's like it's crumbling here. Because of something. Or the other way around, because you get this information, you let this crumble. Like you allow this to crumble and to build up again. Because you trust something here. But what you're trusting is strange. It's not normal. It is... Yeah, it's not normal. It is... I talked about the frame. It's bigger than the frame. Yeah, it's outside of the frame. Like the frame would suggest the normal human life on earth. What we know about that. The narrative there. When it's outside of the frame, it's more, it's different than that. It may feel foreign. It may feel alien. It may feel... even to the point when, like, do I want to trust this? Like, do I want to go there? Because it makes everything crumble. Everything you know about your persona, your life here, that you are the son or daughter of who and who, that you have, brothers and sisters here, that you have, of course you do, but it's in a human sense. And how you may be relating to each other is through the human blood understanding. We are a family. But as I said, you could, within a family frame, have many different vibrational matches that actually, from a universal point of view, comes from many different directions. And you are now put together in a family here, and it's supposed to work out fine. But if you run away from home, it's because you don't fit there, right? It's not right for you to stay there. If you stay, you probably will find that you are tired, you are exhausted, you feel like there is no agreement here, or there is no there's no sharing or no coming together in some sense. So it's crumbling. Everything we know about family, everything we know about nationality, maybe even, or something like that. It's not... I just see like it's crumbling. Can I get another card on the Tower here? So I get King of Wands, again of fire energy, solar plexus here. I feel like it's almost like I get this feeling of, like when you have soldiers that are training to become elite soldiers. It's like they are pushed to the limit and more than that, in order for them to, you could say, break down and then being built up again. Like being broken down and being built up in a new version of themselves. So that they can do actually otherworldly stuff. Like they can endure the most terrible situation and still manage. I would say they have this iron fist will, right? They have an iron fist will of what purpose is and where they're going. But they have to like break down all their fears. They have to break down all the things that stand in their way of being able to do the impossible. Of being able to be that soldier that can endure the worst terrible interrogations, that can endure the worst terrible, you would say, torture, almost the worst terrible, you go into like a heavily armed environment, you're only 4 soldiers in, and you're supposed to retrieve some kind of person or free them or something, and you are just heavily, bombarded with shootings and everything, and you have to like have this very cold focus on something, not being emotionally, stunned or something. I get that feeling here. Like it's like you have to break down to build up. It feels like a breakdown to build up. Or, as I said, like something like if you have old karma here or you are attached to certain things, it's like you have to break from that or detach from it. Or I think that elite soldiers, like they also have, like the only way that they can focus so much on the job they have is because they don't have something else that is derailing them. Like many of them live alone. Many of them have a very dedicated military life. Many of them are not married or have children. They don't have a family life. They're not attached in that way. It feels a little bit like being broken down, that something breaks down here to be built up again. Again, it is the solar plexus, fire energy here. Willpower. It's about your willpower, confidence, go-getter energy, your personal drive, personal power, like the ability to be like that elite soldier, who goes into the worst fire to do something there. And in order for you to have the confidence that you need to do something here, to perform these miracles perhaps, or work with this ancient wisdom here, maybe it takes for you, maybe you need to crumble this. Like everything you know about yourself and your life and your role in society, maybe your role in your family, everything has to crumble to be built up again. Because otherwise you can't perform this. Like you can't go towards this. You wouldn't go. Like you would be prohibited by guilt or shame or like whatever lays here. You would be limited by normal human linear thinking or limited mathematical understanding or limited, it's what is currently available. Like what you are doing or what you are supposed to or whatever goal or purpose you could have here is outside of the box. It's not here yet. So you have to get this iron will, right? In the Sagittarius reading, or was it, no, Capricorn reading, I talked about something about titanium, like getting this shield of titanium somehow to like maybe do or become what you could become here, or what is available for you, I think, with some kind of wisdom here. But we can't be a crybaby on one hand and then be titanium on the other. We can't be filled with guilt and shame and bad conscience and attachment and everything, and then become this titanium elite soldier on the other hand. And I feel like something is breaking here to build something else. I want to look at the bottom of the deck here. So I get the 9 of Earth here. This is a driver for this. Okay, I feel like should I get the others as well here? So the drivers usually in a linear time fashion tells us what has happened before. That this has been present before this. Like this comes after this. So it seems a little bit like if we look at them, that like in the past, you may have experienced that you felt like you should be on a self-care, self-loving path, where you chose something that feels right for you. You chose something that feels good, or you decided to trust yourself about something here. But again, she is a bit cloaked. She's wearing a mask. She has this a bit what maybe old-fashioned clothes. It looks a little bit like Middle Age or medieval times. This way of dressing. Maybe you are embracing something here that could be considered ancient, right? The 9 of Earth would say it's a single card, and it's something about embracing you and embracing the life you have alone. It's a self-care card. Maybe you, again, as I said before, something about maybe you thrive more as an individual. Maybe you have figured something out here that you need to be alone, because you are walking a temple path here. Like the temple path is usually a seeker's path, some kind of maybe sometimes a religious path or a spiritual path. It can be a path of seeking enlightenment, seeking a higher purpose or a higher calling. Sitting in meditation, or in some way having a calling, I feel like. And in that process, while you were, let's say, you did become single, or you chose to be single, you chose a spiritual path here. Again, the singlehood can talk about not only not having a partner, but actually when someone decides themselves to choose the temple path, this can be a religious path. So this is like taking it further. It's not just to divorce someone. It's actually to choose a calling here. This can talk about that you devote yourself to a particular lifestyle here, a particular life, spiritual life. So this could be that you're not only getting single here, you are also maybe saying goodbye to certain friends or even family members. You decide to focus solely on this. Again, we get the card here that says let go. Let go, right? Go with the flow of what you feel, what comes to you. let go, cleanse, and learn to receive here. Learn to allow yourself to receive, because that's what he's doing here, right? She's receiving, downloading information here. Again, I feel like this is the same person, right? But becoming more and more comfortable with maybe the lifestyle. Here it's a bit cloaked. Like here it's still a bit, I'm only doing this in hiding. I'm not sharing this with anyone. I'm just slowly but surely detaching. I'm embracing more of, like this could be a feeling of like a witch or a shaman or something. I embrace more and more some other kind of energy. I choose this. This becomes a lifestyle. I choose a healer path, or I choose a shaman path. Again, maybe not quite know what it is, because again, it may not be here yet. You go with the flow of where it takes you. You learn to relax. You learn to let go of the things that are in the way. You take the mask off. You become more and more acquainted with this energy. It becomes more and more okay for you. You cleanse. You purify it. Again, cleaning can be about, again, you get things out of your life that is occupying your space, you could say, occupying your ability to devote yourself to something here. So you cleanse yourself from convictions or people or things that are somehow not right for you. It's like you're clearing the way of a vibration, I feel like. The vibration that you are. You're becoming more and more, from being very cloaked maybe, and very polluted by a lot of matrix narrative. It's like you're taking it off layers and layers, and eventually you're figuring out what you actually are, and what vibration you actually are. So you don't need the mask anymore. It becomes more and more clear to you that maybe you do have the ability to know stuff here. You know stuff. And because you now know this, you can keep, like, again, everything you knew, it was built on unsafe or unfounded foundation. It was not real. It was a mask. It was a cloak. Because what you are here is something entirely different. It could be the feeling of you have been living your life as a, like someone in disguise. That you have lived your life in disguise here. Or you had to disguise yourself from the outside world while you were detaching or cleansing or purifying yourself. And again, this single element is about becoming very individual, becoming your individual sovereign self, this iron titanium fist here that just can stand any kind of pressure. The elite soldier, the confident elite soldier that cuts through the bullshit if necessary, right? But it's a very special path to take, and it's challenging everything we know about humanity and family and tradition and moral and ethics and everything. Like becoming a person like that, I talked about in the Capricorn reading, it felt like becoming larger than life. And that can seem like a grandiose, almost narcissistic thinking. But I didn't have that. Like it showed up in a very divine feminine energy. That no matter where I am home. Like no matter where I am, I'm safe. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm involved in, I have this iron fist bubble of safety around me. Like I am so protected, you could say, or so like I have guardians of angels around me that protect me, right? I am always safe. I can stand any bullying, any kind of resistance, any kind of judgment, it's not touching me. I'm untouchable in some way. And maybe you need to become that, because I don't know what this is, but what it is you're downloading here, right? I just know that it could come in with a sense of miracle here. We know that in ancient times, witches who could maybe perform healing arts, that they have been burned, they have been beheaded, they have been told that they were devil's mistresses, that it was the work of the devil, because it was different, because they performed something or cleared or cleansed or healed something that the current society didn't know about. As I said with the heart starter, if someone would talk about that in the 18th century, you would maybe be considered like a devil's, like that you would in pursuit of devilish work, because only God considers what lives or dies. Right? It's in the hand of God if someone survives, if they are very ill. In the medical understanding today, we don't necessarily believe in devil possession, that a body is possessed by the devil. We may say it's an illness, and we're looking for the cause and a treatment. But way back in time, you could have been beheaded for saying that. You could have been beheaded for just pointing out, oh, this is an illness. I can treat that. You would be called the devil's, either you would be considered a superwoman who performs miracles, or you would be considered the devil's mistress for challenging the church or challenging the priests. Understanding, because it was considered the highest learning. It was considered the almighty learning. Today we are not questioning it. Today we consider that doctors eventually figure this out. Doctors eventually figure out how to cure something. It's a matter of time, then they figure it out, right? But in those times, it was considered either a miracle or the devil's work. And if it was considered the devil's work, it's because it would it challenges what the church would dictate. And the church was considered like the most virtuous, highest learning at that time, or teaching. So I have this feeling that something could be downloaded here that has the potential of performing what we would today call a miracle. With what we know today, it would be a miracle. Like the healing power someone could have in the 18th century, that would be a miracle. But it would challenge the current understanding. It would challenge what we were comfortable with, what people were comfortable with at that time, what they knew at that time. And this is exactly Aquarius energy. Like if you come in, if you've seen the series called Outlander, that is exactly what what Claire is going through, one of the main characters. She comes from the future back to the 17th century. She is a nurse from the 1960s. She knows about penicillin, she knows about other kinds of treatments that can help with certain illnesses. She is being transferred through some old stones back to the 17th century. She is regarded as a white witch. She is considered a devil's mistress. She is accused of many things just because she has some knowledge. Knowledge that in the 1960s were common medical knowledge, but not then, right? And this is the same situation. It's like you have knowledge here that could come from, let's say, the 24th century. If we think about linear time, maybe it's from the 24th century. It's not here yet. But you have some kind of maybe you have an ability to channel something. It can come in here and it could make a miracle. It would look like a miracle here today with what we currently know. But if you have the quantum time understanding is not linear. It's like a circular, and that could also be what this is. Like you're just bending time. In the sense that if you think about circular time like this, it means that the past, present, and future is available at the same time. You don't have to live another 300 years to get the information. You can just tap into it in the quantum field. And this could be what you're doing. It is already here, like it is available. You just have to figure out how to tap into it. So as I said, maybe the miracle could also be that you have figured out a way how to call in energy that per se shouldn't be possible to have it. Like the keyhole is not big enough to push it through, but you have somehow figured out a way to surpass this, like the possibility here. That could be the miracle, that you somehow figured out how to surpass something. That would also be outside of the box thinking. You're doing something outside of the frame. Which I think Aquarius is brilliant at. I think they really can do this. You can stay inside the frame of what we currently know, but you can also go outside of it and think in new ways. And never forget that, Aquarius, that you can do this. Where most people, they stick to what they know. And it's almost like if they discover something that is actually outside of the box, it's almost like they don't believe themselves. No, this cannot be. I have to retest. And then I have to retest again. I have to do it twice or 3 times to establish a proof which I can show others, because otherwise they don't believe me. I have to show them, right? Instead of just believing it instantly, we are questioning it if it's outside of the frame. Because it's not normal. Or we have actually discovered something. We know that Stephen Hawking did a lot of work about black holes. But it's only recently that we can actually prove that they are there. And he was a very special scientist, because he was simultaneously, while he was learning and studying mathematics and physics, he was struggling with this crippling illness that eventually led him to sit in this wheelchair where he could think, but he couldn't really move that much. He needed all around the clock help. But he still, even in the wheelchair, he kept thinking, he kept writing, he kept publishing, right? Because his mind was working, but his body was immobile. He became more and more passive, like his body became more and more passive, but his mind became maybe more and more receptive. Like, again, feminine energy, receptive energy is passive. So he became very passive, his body was, but his mind became maybe more and more open. And he described, like it's like he could pinpoint things in the universe that indicates that there's something there. But we had no picture, no physical proof. And for some reason, humans need that. Like in order for something to become a general theory in mathematics or physics and be recognized as the truth, we need proof. We need some kind of physical proof. It's not enough to theorize about something. Anyone can theorize about something. If you can't prove it, it's not there, or it's not accepted. It's subjectivity. It's only something that is in your mind. As long as it's not in my mind, as long as I don't have physical proof I can show you on the picture on the computer screen, you cannot understand it, or you will not understand it. You will not accept it unless I show you the proof of it. Maybe you will have the ability to prove something that is currently not something that can be proved, and therefore not shared, therefore not considered a truth. There are many truths out there, I believe. It depends on, again, your timeline. It depends on the energy level you are on, what you are able to call in for information, and what you may have figured out to find a way around certain limitations. Let's have a card on this. So I get the Page of Michael here. It is a blue card, so it indicates air element. Air is like in crown chakra, thoughts, communication styles. It's knowledge, it's wisdom. But it's a page. And when it's a page, it's new. It's a bit like an ace. It's something that hasn't been considered before. It may seem young, or it says here, truthful, perceptive, analytical, and blunt. It may be a bit of a blunt message, I feel like, or proof. Like, again, the miracle that you could come in with here could be like a proof of some kind. A proof about, again, it's new. There is a sense of truthfulness to it. It's highly perceptive, analytical. It's a blunt move, maybe. That's maybe also why it requires bravery and an iron fist will to do something. It says here it's an exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed, review contracts or documents very thoroughly. So I get a feeling of that you could be, what comes in here is like it's going to challenge the current documents. It's going to challenge the current contracts of what we know, or the frame. It's going to challenge that, but it also says that you have what it takes to succeed. It's a new exciting challenge. It shows a boy that is playing with like this what is that called? Is it a dragon? Like a paper dragon here? The owl is flying. There could be something about flying, maybe levitating. Lift off or levitating. Levitating can also tell me something about ascension, like how to ascend energies to a different level. It doesn't have to be. It's something that it's like he's playing with the air, right? It's possible to make this dragon fly because of the air, the wind. There could be something about wind knowledge, like wind physics, or something like that. It's also because there's something about, we know that we have gravity, so normally without the wind, this one would fall down to the ground. But he is out there playing with it in the wind. So there's something about maybe surpassing gravity, or the whole idea of gravity is maybe not it's because it's light enough. The wind can carry it because it's light enough. He's not flying off. Like he's not up there. There's something about, I don't know, but I feel like it's a question, something that questions the current, as a mathematical theory would do, right? That if you figure something out that has to do with what can fly, why can this fly? There's something about the why can I not fly? If I want to fly, why can I not fly? It's because I'm not like this. I'm not as light as this. I'm not made out of paper or what this is, plastic or something. I'm not made in this way. Again, wind is something about the air element, how we think about something. Again, we are limited to understand that because we are humans and we have form, we cannot fly. We cannot fly as this one can, because we don't have wings, we are not as light. We are denser, we are heavier, so we cannot fly. But is this just in our mind? That because we have no proof of it, does it then mean that it's true? Is it because we are thinking like that we can fly? This one has wings, right? Is it because, and here this one also has, there's a headpiece with wings here. Is it because we think that we can't fly that we cannot fly? We know that people who have strong confidence and believe in something, an iron will, and they don't let themselves be stopped by anything, they can usually make something almost like the impossible possible. Because their iron will is so strong and they don't let themselves be influenced or overwhelmed by other people's judgment. Because they trust it so much, it becomes real eventually. So we know that the mind is a strong manifester. If you have low self-esteem, you will not be able to manifest the same as someone with high self-esteem. So it has to do with the mind. Well, maybe you could have different, you could grow up in a very poor environment with very low like money, with little help or support, you could say. And you can grow up in an environment that supports you a lot, that supports your idea, where maybe there are certain things available. Right? It doesn't matter whether it's rich or poor families. It's just, do you have no support or do you have support? If you do have support and you do have this iron will and you have been taught to believe in yourself and never give up, maybe we could fly, right? Maybe we could do that. You have someone like Elon Musk, for instance, like he is this scientist guy, right? That people, I feel like they are looking at him with everything but from like utmost admiration and awe to judgmental and not understanding what he's doing. But he has this focus on something, that he wants to go to Mars, right? And he has this iron will focus to do this. And I think it takes that for this, what we would call the crazy scientist guy. Like he has to have this iron will idea to do something and not let himself being influenced by other people's influence here. Otherwise he can't do it, right? Otherwise he would lose faith. Like he has to keep this focus and trust himself and never waver. Otherwise he can't do it. If he wavers, if he loses faith, or he has to keep that momentum up and keep going. Otherwise, it crumbles and falls to the ground. So there could be something about, I don't know, levitation, something about flying. Maybe something about, as I said, maybe air, again, it could be communication. How can we make communication easy? I said telepathy, something like that. Maybe there is a way to prove that and to enhance it. Or in any other way of controlling the mind. Because you see, the dragon doesn't fly off. He has a range here, or he can control where it flies. I had something about it was Scorpio reading and Capricorn, there was something about taming the mind. or it says taming the wind. Taming the wind like taming the mind, taming bending air. Can we bend air? If we talk about the mind here, that you can use your mind to control something, or as I said, this iron will to do something, that if you can tame that and be very focused and keep it, because normally the mind is actually very fleeting. It goes in all kinds of directions. You can, within a few minutes, you can have tons of thoughts. Like, it goes in all kinds of directions. You think about the dentist appointment and you have to pick up the kids and what are we going to have for dinner? And then you have the project in front of you, the work project. And then you think about, there's a music in the background and you listen to the lyrics, right? And then you go back to think about maybe, it starts raining outside, right? Your thoughts can go in all kinds of directions. But what if you could tame it and keep it utterly focused on something? It could even be that what you are working or playing with here has to do with, let's say we have a physical disorder, brain disorder, and it is possible to help to bend a mind, like if there is an injury, or if there has been some kind of injury to the brain or to the mind, that is there a way how to like bend it, or you just have to think outside of the box. As I said with the quantum field, if what you are downloading here is supposed to be maybe ancient wisdom, past, present, and future, so even future abilities can be drawn in today. That is not normal thinking. That would be a miracle. That if you draw in something that is first available, that in normal human linear thinking, this would not be available yet. Maybe it will only be available in 300 years. If you can draw this in, it's a miracle. Maybe that's the airbending thing, that we bend the way our mind thinks, that our mind can, if we allow ourselves to know, like if you can align yourself to that kind of thinking, you can manifest anything that has been, you could say, all the way back from Atlantis, even though we have no proof of what that was, even if it's ancient wisdom from the universe, but it hasn't been here yet, not even in Atlantis or Egypt, that it's ancient but it's not here yet. If you can somehow figure out how to draw it in and prove that it works, then you've made a miracle. You have done something that has not been possible yet. Can we revive the dead? Like if we can have past, present, future at the same time, can Can we tap into energies that are dead, that are long gone? Retrieve it into the current. Like if we can from the from the future, we should be able to do it from the past also. But this is not normal thinking. It's outside of the box. It's outside of the frame. Because the frame only allows certain ways of thinking. But there are many more, of course. It's just what the keyhole allows. And most people think like that. Like they think inside the brain, like inside the possibilities of the frame. They live in here, where you may actually live outside primarily. Or you are seeking your information outside, that you're calling in information that is from another galaxy maybe, or something. It doesn't have to do only with Earth time, the 24th century. No, maybe you call in energy that is from another galaxy, even from another universe. Why not? If it can somehow help in some way or bend something. Yeah, it's something like that. It's a thought experiment that you can play with it, right, in your mind. And you can see what happens. But what I feel like with this is that whoever I'm talking to here, they're going through something where everything you knew about yourself is crumbling, I feel like. It started with you seeking solitude or singlehood maybe, and diving into maybe, I don't know, some hobby here maybe. And it's a bit, you know, with a mask on, you didn't really say it out loud perhaps. But then it became more like a temple path. It became like a seeker's path. It's asking you to let go, right? And release yourself from anything that could restrict you. Cleanse yourself from everything you know. Like try to be this totally open mind. And feel into your heart space. Is this who you are? Is this what you are? Go with the flow. Go where it takes you. See what happens. Allow yourself to see what happens. I feel like this is what has been in the past. These are all drivers that is driving you to this. And now you stand here where it feels like everything that may have sounded and looked solid in your life is crumbling. But at the same time, you're receiving what seems like some kind of wisdom here. And I feel like it feels all right. Like, even though this looks like it's terrible, like everything in your life may crumble. But actually, I don't feel, again, this one, I don't get anxiety from this one. I don't get any kind of sense of being afraid or something. It actually feels quite okay. It's like, I feel like she's trusting this. She trusts this more than this. And of course, it's because it feels better. it feels home, maybe. Maybe there is a sense of recognition. It just feels right somehow. Again, this is a page, so I feel like the process could be fairly new. Like whatever is happening here could be fairly new. The page is a child, so this could feel like you have now I get childlike understanding of something that is pretty ancient in the universe. So it's like it's only the beginning. I get this is only the beginning. This is childlike. What you know now is only the beginning. It's young. It's like, you know, when you're learning a new language, in the beginning you only have few words and you're starting to build small sentences. And if you actually went to the country then where this native language is spoken, they would understand what you're saying, but they would also look at you with this idea, oh, they only speak childlike. Like they can only express themselves in very limited childlike ways. If I throw in another more complicated conversation, they can't answer because they have a limited vocabulary. That's what this feels like. It's still very young. It's still a limited vocabulary, or it's limited knowledge. It's childlike. Not it's still on a childlike level. It's kindergarten. It's kindergarten. What you are receiving here is kindergarten, or it's young, or it's second grade or so. You are only second grader here, or something like that. It's still very little. It's still very, again, it's like you can't expect a second grader to be able to deal with a university test. Like you can't expect a second grader to pass a test that is made for university level. So it feels like what you are being fed here with information is like you are in school. You are in school learning something here. Still at a young level, I think. It's maybe fairly new. It's at a fundamental state, like it, and that's why this is crumbling. It's because what you are being fed of information here is asking you to build again your foundation, like childhood foundation is supposed to have new knowledge. So you're building yourself up again here, but with new knowledge, like a child, like raising a child again. Like you can't let a toddler out in traffic. Like you have to hold its hand and stop it before it runs over the street. Because it hasn't learned that it has to do left and right and make sure there are no traffic before it goes over or because it crosses the street. It's like you are dealing with a toddler in some sense, or a second grader. You're only starting to figure out what this is, I think. And it all starts by trusting, by allowing, by giving yourself maybe alone time here, to trust your path, that you have something special to bring to the table, but only if you trust yourself. If you get this titanium iron, strong, solid, sometimes maybe brutal, confidence, that the wisdom that you have, or the wisdom that could potentially be accessed, is yours, and it must not be polluted by other people's judgment or involvement or something. That you need a clear channel, right? You need time and a clear channel to figure out what this is. And you have to boost that confidence. You have to become this elite soldier, like titanium warrior, in the sense that what it is that you're doing, you need to protect it, right? That you have to have this iron fist around you that kind of keeps everything away, so that you can download what it is that you're supposed to figure out here. There's something about the mind here, I think, mind bending. And if you bend your mind if you allow your mind to think outside of the box, trusting whatever you are receiving here, you can manifest something else. You can maybe even manifest it way quicker. You have access to something if you allow yourself to think outside of the box. Let's say you want to tap into the mind of Julius Caesar. Like we know Julius Caesar in the history books, he is long gone, he's dead. But it's also said that physics believe that you can still in the air today find particles of his last breath. If that's the case, there must be particles flowing around in our space here that comes from any human living being. The last breath of everyone is here. So you could just tap into it. I guess. So, what if the last breath of the dinosaurs are here? What is if the last breath of the Big Bang is here? Or the birth of the Big Bang is here? What if we could tap into that? For some reason, if we find that would be useful. I think that it's all a matter of, well, how limited your mind is, like, or even the other way around, how expansive your mind can get. I said in the Scorpio reading, I talked about, again, something about when universes collide, we will know if we are comfortable here or not, right? I talked about universes that all of us, it's like we are our own universe. We have a constellation of different energies that are vital to us, values, even the ideas of maybe tradition or outside of the box thinking or not. Like we will, when we collide with others and we feel their universe approaching here, it's like we are very much aware whether there's chemistry here or whether we feel we are in a comfort zone or not. We are very much aware of that. Um, then we are dealing with a mask sometime and lies or something. But there is usually an imprint, an energy field. I talked in the Scorpio reading, it's like we are our own universe. Everybody is their own universe. Certain rules apply in my universe. Certain rules apply in yours. Certain values, certain cores of what we are. More than who we are, but what we are. It applies more than maybe someone else's universe is different. And I can feel it. And it's not to say that their universe is wrong. It's just different than mine. And we will know it, like we will feel the energy shift when our energy feels touch in some way. We can feel whether it feels good or bad. And sometimes because you are in front of something that feels not so good, doesn't mean that it's bad for you. It just means that it's different than your current vibration. Your current vibration only allows you to attract things that are in alignment with that. If you want something else, change your vibration. If you want something that is out of this world, change your vibration so that you can get it. Like you can think you want to be a millionaire, but if you deep down feel that you are a loser, the million never comes to you. You become aligned with confidence. You become aligned with business ideas. You align yourself with people or energies that are in that favor, like in favor of the million. And maybe, yes, you have to let go of the idea of being a loser. You cannot be a loser and a millionaire or a success at the same time. If you stick to the loser and the victimhood or the pain or the misery, you can't become it. It never comes to you. It cannot. In that sense, you could say that the vibration that we hold on earth, like every brain that is thinking thoughts here, aligns itself with something. It means that there are certain energies from the universe that cannot come in unless the general mind perspective on earth changes. Like our mind has to be more coherent with each other for something to change. Right now, if we look at the mind state on earth, it's extremely confusing. It goes like this. Because we all have individual mind thinking, it's not telepathically linked. If we were one big brain, if all our brains cooperated about the same wishes, it would be attracted in. Because it becomes a vibrational match. That if we were all thinking about peace, Earth would attract more peace. Like it would be, we would have more peace. But because our brains are like doing that, we don't have that. We have confusion. We have mishmash. We have misunderstandings. We have very diverse interests. Very different values. very different religions, very different, because it does like that. If someone was studying the mind activity on Earth, it would be a mess. One big giant mess of information and thoughts and because it's not coherent. Each part, each atom, each brain atom is not working with the other. It's not connected with the other one, the next one, and the next one, and the next one. There is no cooperation between them. It's separate. And that's also what we feel. We feel separate from others. Our universe is not like others. Even identical twins, I believe, do not feel that they are fully connected. We are looking for other halves. We're looking for this other person that can complete us because we feel separate. We believe that if we just find this other person, we become whole. But it's not quite like that, I think. I believe that another person can have elements of what it is you're looking for, but they also bring something else. You also bring something else that they may not want. But I believe that if we could somehow if all could be connected with each other, we would have the feeling of home. In spiritual communities, there's this idea of finding the oneness. The oneness for me talks about it's like oneness seems like there's only one. There's only one voice. There's only one vibration. There's only one. And because there's only one, there's no confusion. We talk about that oneness is the feeling of the homecoming. This is where it's like we are connected with something that feels so whole to us. We become one with something. We melt with it. We are now part of it. And together there is this sense of totality. Oneness is just for me this idea that, because I believe that on this earth everything is separate. I'm separate from you, you're separate from brothers, sisters, family, blah, blah. We are all individual beings. Every grass, straw, every animal, everything is an atom. Everything is its own unique energy imprint. If we combine all of that, every animal, every grass straw, every water drop, every person, every energy field, if we combine all of that in one, we have oneness. Here on earth it is split. So I am one part of the oneness. You are another part of that oneness. That is what I believe in. In myself, I myself do not feel complete. You yourself do not feel complete. Everybody feels not complete unless they have somehow figured out something else. The normal human understanding or consciousness doesn't feel complete. It is separate. I used to feel like that. I don't feel it as much anymore. That's why I also believe that you shouldn't give up. Like if you somehow start something here that takes you on some kind of journey, don't give up on it. Like believe that there is something to be found there. Even though it takes you away, like even though it takes you on some kind of individual journey where you don't know where it's ending. Can I get a card on the 7th chakra here? Okay, interesting. I get the Earth Keeper here. Again, we have someone with a wing. Earth Keeper. And in the Capricorn reading, I have the Portal Keeper coming up, Earth Keeper. It's like a protector. A keeper, I believe, can be a parent, right? They keep you safe, they protect you. Keeping something is that you want to keep it alive, or you want to keep its state going. We can also keep a secret. Keeping is like being a container of something, like you know something. So the Earth Keeper would be someone who wants to keep the earth. It could be something, what you are downloading here has to do with how to keep earth. So the essence of this card says, just as you are involved in co-creating your world, you are also responsible for its well-being. The Earth Keepers are dedicated to the stewardship of the earth and all life. They choose to hold the sacred dream of a planet where all beings live in peace and where the rivers and the air are clean. Remember that everything you do has an impact for 7 generations. You have outgrown, there's an invitation here that talks about that you have outgrown your small dreams of success and achievement and are ready to dream big, with possibilities beyond your wildest expectations. That's why I feel like the foundation is crumbling. Like it's because you're building something else in you here, or becoming more brave maybe. Take on the mantle of the Earth Keeper and reach out to a friend in need whom you may not have been in touch with for some time. Take care of your pets and feed the stray that comes by. Clean up your yard, as this is a reflection of your relationship to the earth. Grow the sacred dream, and your sacred dream here, temple path, right? And your personal life will flourish. Remember, it's not about me any longer. It's about the earth and everything here. As you care for your body, you show your care for Mother Earth. So begin with the stewardship of your health. What are you putting in your mouth? Are you feeding on foods and thoughts that are not good for you? Start doing what you know will be good for you today. And again, I think that this idea of what is good for you, well, we know that there is a standard in our human life that talks about that we have to eat greens and vegetables and less meat, and like the vegetarian style is best, or things like that. We have to get a blended mix of diet. I think this all comes down to you. Actually, I believe that every zodiac can have different diet that fits them. I believe that there are certain nutritions or supplements that are good for certain zodiac signs or certain people, and then they will actually be a bit harmful to others, even though from a general perspective they are supposed to be good. So I think this also is a part of maybe that journey you have here, where you have to figure out what is good for you or not. Keeping ideals about this, well, I'm not sure it's helping. Ideals would suggest that something is good and something is bad for you. Ideals would also suggest that that only if you choose the ideals or the ideal food, you are good enough, right? Or you are doing the right thing. Only if you do that. And I think everything that this card talks about is about finding out what's right in your life. So it's, I would say, from an individual perspective, figure out what your body needs. Figure out what is like you know, some people are fruitarians, like they live only of fruit. And I can't say that that is wrong. Like if they feel refreshed, energized, and everything from the way that they eat, I can't say it's wrong, right? I just feel like it's up to each individual to figure out what the right diet is or what is clean for them, or right for them in some way. Yeah, that's what I feel like. So an earth keeper, again, look at how she is disguised here, but it is an earth card, pentacle card here. How she is disguised and just like slowly but surely trying to do a little bit more. Whatever she has done before is crumbling. As I said, you could be a shaman. Maybe you want to work with earth energies. The crumbling of the tower here, the tower for me can sometimes also be the body, you know, that your body may shut down if you're not taking care of it correctly. Or maybe all the thoughts you've had about what healthiness is maybe not, you know, being active, sport active, eating a certain diet, keeping a certain weight. Maybe all of these ideas are crumbling. That there is no only one way of living healthy. It all depends on the individual. But maybe that's not what you have lived by. Maybe you have lived by this idea that I have to eat light, a lot of salad or chicken, and you know, and I should stay away from beef or. But I don't think that is necessarily well. It depends on, again, your timeline. If you live in harsher third dimensional energy, you need to be more dense. You need to be stronger. So it means that you probably eat more meat. You eat more in general because you have to stay dense and heavy. If you live a more spiritual life, you can eat less. Like your body becomes lighter. You don't need as much sustenance. Like you don't need as much meat or dense food. You could be a fruitarian maybe, or vegetarian. It all depends on like your vibration. Like if your vibration is lighter, or as lighter, you will need less food, I guess. You could become someone who like eats very little portions, and you drink a lot. Like you drink water and juice or fluids in that way more than you eat dense steak, right? Maybe you are someone who benefits from oil, like olive oil, omega-3, like fish oil, that your body is like very likes that. So you just figure out what's right for your body, I feel like. How to keep it. How to keep your body. The earth is also a manifestation of form, right? So when we talk the earth keeper, we can talk about how to keep the body and maybe mind here as healthy as possible. Maybe you're downloading something about that. There's even someone, I guess there are theories also that talk about that you can eat according to your blood type more than what is a general health advice. That you can eat according to your blood type. You can eat according to whether you are born in spring, summertime, or winter. What is available during winter time? Like what kind of food is available normally? Like if we should think about what would normally be available in nature, or what would normally be available. So if you are, let's say you are Gemini, or you are born in the summertime, you could have berries, right? Berries could be something that you are very fond of, and maybe your body likes it. But if you are born in the winter time where berries are not available, maybe you are more into roots, kale or something that can survive during winter or not be ruined by winter frost. Maybe you benefit more from that seasonal food. I don't know. It's just try to figure it out what is right for you, and what supplements are actually also beneficial for you. Yeah, this is what I have, Aquarius. I don't know exactly what this ancient wisdom is for you. I just know that whatever you are doing or whatever is happening, something is being dismantled here, built up again. Maybe you're feeling that your body is undergoing some kind of change. Maybe you even feel like your body is like deteriorating, like it's crumbling, that you are but it's because you take in more energy, or you take in more information here, and you have to change something about the way you live, your diet, as I said, or something like that. Okay, so I wanted to know a little bit more about this miracle thing here, and I get the card clairvoyance. So it talks about inspiration, interpretation, trust. It talks about maybe scrying. We see how she looks in the water here. It's interesting how she holds this branch of leaves here, it makes me think about the movie or the series called The Witcher, when it's in the beginning where Jennifer, she becomes this very powerful mage, where Jennifer is well, she's regarded as a useless pig in her family. She is crippled. She has like her back is very bent, and she looks, her jaw is like she looks deformed, you could say. From a human perspective, she looks deformed and crippled. When she is learning about magic in the beginning, she's learning that if you want to manifest something here, in whatever way, hold something here as a counter. It's almost like to have a magical wish, you have to offer something. Otherwise, you will feel it in your body. So if you want to, there's this scene where they are practicing. Other mages are Jennifer's there, and then there are some others, and they are practicing something very basic magical manifestation. So they should lift a stone. They should make it levitate by giving some kind of spell. And to do that, the counter for that experience was to offer some kind of life here. Like a blossom, again she's holding a flower here, some kind of blossom, a branch of leaves, that in order for you to get the stone to levitate, you are offering this branch of leaves. If you're not doing that and you say the spell, your hand could wither. Like your hand could die, you could say. So there is something about the counterweight of miracles, maybe. The counterweight of manifestation is something else that you, in order to not hurt yourself, you could say, one of the basic lessons is make sure you not hurt yourself while you're making this spell, because you give something. It would be a bit like what we know as a sacrifice. You sacrifice a lamb and make a wish to the gods, right? You sacrifice or you offer food or something while you want to honor your God and then manifest something, so you offer them something. Right? You offer them something. Otherwise, it could take a toll on your own body, right? That would be, in The Witcher, that is like basic knowledge, that you have to make sure that you're not hurting yourself. But it definitely tells something about possibly clairvoyance, the ability to see something more, see beyond the veil, see into the future. In the, what was it? Was it Sagittarius? I had something about future vision. The ability to see beyond time and so on. But these are qualities that we normally don't see in people. Normally people can't see beyond time. Normally they can't. Well, we know that there's people with clairvoyance here, that they have abilities to see, but it's still this, it's become maybe a bit more normal. Like it's not that miraculous anymore, but it's still something a bit extraordinary. Not all people do this. Not all people trust in it. Also, not all people would go to someone who is a clairvoyant healer, for instance, right? And not everyone would go there. They still are reluctant to that kind of thing. So the ancient wisdom can be about maybe that you have an ability to see something here, know or see something, maybe something. Clairvoyance is usually about seeing. So like you have pictures or you have some kind of image. You can see maybe scenes play out in your mind's eye, or from the third eye. You can have the ability to see through lies or see through, like your perception can open up new doors. Something like that, perhaps, Aquarius? Or you, again, the clairvoyance can be that you can see into other universes. You can see how something is working there and trying to manifest it here. So this is what I have, Aquarius, for you. Very interesting what's going on here. Please comment if you feel like it. If you feel like something is dismantling, like you can't keep up the same body, perhaps. Because the body, we have energy fields around the body. I talked about the pain body. The pain body is like an energy field that covers many humans. Because we live with this inherited karma thing, right? That we have all these kinds of things that have buckled up in our energy body, the pain body. So maybe some of this is shedded, like it's torn away, it's shedded, it's decluttered, so that finally you see what stands inside, that finally you see the core in there. And I also feel like the tower is usually the feeling that something crumbles, that everything we know in our world is falling to pieces. And it feels awful, usually. But what happens when we have lost everything, or when everything is like terrible, is that, well, there's probably not much more to lose then. Now we can start building again. And maybe be more grateful for every step that we get, or every step that we manage to complete, or every new floor we build. We can be more grateful because we have experienced the fall, we have experienced the loss maybe of something. And then you are gradually starting to build a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, because everything you knew or everything you had was crumbling. Because it's based on a lie, or it's based on unsafe foundation. It's not true, it's lies, maybe it's betrayal, maybe you feel like it's all, it was a waste of time or something like that. Yeah, so this is what I have. And I think it's important to let it fall. Like it says here, let go, right? Let go, clean, purify, let it go, and start receiving something new here, receiving new message. Because what you have here could be old, obsolete. And what you have here doesn't help you. It's like, let go of all the old beliefs. Like if you stick with the old beliefs, you can't think outside of the frame, outside of the box. So you have to let the old way of thinking go. Don't limit yourself. Yeah, this is what I have. I hope this helped somehow, or maybe it just resonated, and if so, well, give it a thumbs up if you want to. Let the algorithm know that you like it, and then it may circulate a bit more on YouTube, and others may see it, right? If you feel someone, you're a cross-watcher, an Aquarius, and this may help them, of course, share it, always, by all means. And if it doesn't resonate with you at all, you probably have clicked off this reading already, and it's quite all right. It's a general reading, so it is what it is, right? So, yeah, I hope this helped in some way. Comment or just like it if you feel like it resonates. And if not, well, maybe I see you again on my channel next time, Aquarius. Take care of yourself. Love and light to you. Bye-bye.